Hello there, beloved Ascension pioneers, and welcome to this video on the topic of our awakening Aphrodite. So what does this mean? Recently I've been getting a lot of the messages of the Aphrodite that's awakening within us, and I know this is very well connected with the Venus retrograde that we have been moving through this summer. For me personally, I also had a Venus return, which is a cycle that occurs every 8 years for us in our personal astrology and our personal chart and activation. So it's a very important rite of passage that we've been going through, especially because we had an 888 gateway portal, which is the infinite love of our creation self. What does this mean? So today I was guided to ponder a little bit on this. And you know, I've shared a few twin soul illuminated unions and reunions videos at this time because there's something that's really taking place within, not just, you know, things coming together as events, but things coming together within us getting a real clarity, those of us who are in a path as divine lovers, as to what was our mission, what was always meant to be our mission, and how it's unfolding for us, especially at this time. So the love of the Aphrodite is associated with the archetype of Venus. You know, there's many ancient archetypes and stories around Aphrodite, which is represented by Venus in the grander scheme of things, you know, astrologically. And Venus is that divine lover within us. It's that physical love that we experience. So in a way, what we've been going through is the activation of really embracing that the physical, the earth aspect, the earthly love is no separate from the divine humanly love that we can know in a divine sense, and vice versa. So these two polarities were being brought together, and that is why we had this Venus-Mars conjunction, because this is taking place physically. So when we embrace a role as a divine lover, not merely saying, you know, we have a relationship that feels like a twin flame thing, you know, we really get this on a deeper level, because what does it mean to be a divine lover? Just today we had this conversation with a sister of light of mine, and we've been talking about all these things we've been going through. You know, we shared some of our stories in this path of relating and, you know, moving people up with this frequency, when the divine feminine within those of us who are already integrated souls is calling and waking up the divine feminine in others, but also the divine masculine force, which was so manipulated on this plane of existence. What this means is that the Aphrodite awakened and activated is loving for the sake of love itself. There's this beautiful page online from Penny Slinger. She has something that's called the Dakini Oracle, and her Dakinis, I think there's this online Dakini Oracle that you can find. There's 80 and something of these, 64 of these archetypes, I think. And these are all archetypes of the divine essence, of that divine goddess force of life. So when you come into the path of being an integrated soul, you can embody all of them. You're just moving your energy and shifting, you know, and trying out like different suits, but they're all the suits of the great divine goddess. So when your goddess Aphrodite within you is awake and you really embrace your role as a divine lover, you don't just merely live one relationship, or your love is just for one person or for one thing. Your love becomes more universal, per se. So when I shared my story with this beautiful person, she shared with me that something that I already know is my truth, and it always has been my truth, that it doesn't matter how others reciprocate this love, because those of us who are angelics, we came here to really restore back the original template of twin soul polarity, which is the love of union. It's the sacred love of Heros Gamos, the sacred marriage, so to say. So recently I've been getting all these signs of marriage. And even there was a wedding here, as I shared here. It was really beautiful. And it was an act of physicality, like physical rite of passage of really embracing this role. So when you are in this path, you will know yourself to be many times merging with individuals who are not yet awakened to the full presence of true love, who either don't align with true love, who can vibrationally embody a very high integrity level of essence, of truth, things like that. And in your path, you might resent these people. You might have, you know, in the past, you might have gone through many different challenges with these people. You might have projected your beloved desires onto these people, whatever it was. But I've shared this before. These beings are a part of these unions that we are experiencing first from within ourselves. Truly, truly that unified whole self, when you know yourself and your mission, which always comes first, it's devotion to divine love. Not merely just saying, I'm going to create a life that's great for myself and, you know, forget about the rest of you. You cannot do this as a divine lover. You know that your life belongs to all. And as you know, my message is increasing and increasing in this forward-moving direction. This is who we are now. This is going to be our path. And those who are really going to merge together as divine vibrational counterparts, they will start to form these tiny group collectives. You know, they're going to, you know, maybe like my vision is to create these retreats, create gatherings, events, workshops, whatever it's going to be. Each coupling will create this in their own unique way. But the essence of this is to wash this plane over with the love that is the love of creation that has been so forgotten and misplaced and manipulated so oftentimes. So you, on this path, the first step that really awaits us now is to make peace with ourselves, to make amends with ourselves and all these relationships we might have had in the past. And when this goddess Aphrodite aspect within us awakens, like I said, it's the love for love itself. Loving for the sake of love, not loving only when the person will give this and that much amount of love back. Because some people are not willing, they're not able at this time to love so much. Some of them have been hurt so badly during their lifetime. Some of them have forgotten. Some of them never experienced such intensity of love. They cannot reciprocate before they fully remember their own true divine nature as a, you know, as their own soul that is beautiful, that is pure. So during this course, we've all been having these different relationships, and as divine lovers on this path, we have met many different people that activated different essences within us. So maybe with one being, you felt your sensuality is waking up. With some beings, maybe they helped you embrace a more material aspect of life, how to support yourself also physically, because as an angelic, often, you know, you're focused more on the ethereal nature of things and, you know, sourcing through these higher content levels. And many of these beings, they did assist our union to integrate the wholeness of who we are on all levels. And although sometimes people say that to embrace the twin nature is to embrace that the counterparts mean the opposition, I don't believe it to be an opposition. It's more of an counterbalancing, which means that what you have may be more internally expressed, the other part will have it more externally expressed. You know, like the yin and yang, they have both the seeds of both. Both of them have the seeds of both. It's not like I mastered, you know, the more spiritual planes, the higher planes, you mastered more the lower planes. I don't feel this is of this nature because this is still duality. It is about holding the key, you know, having the key to these different levels of how we see things, like different perspectives, but the unified field is also holding the same level of vibration and attunement. So maybe just the focus is a bit on the different perspective of things, but it's not an opposition of things, if you know what I'm saying. So when this goddess Aphrodite awakens within us, what the Venus retrograde movement has been triggering within so many of us, is there's this greater act of love that wants to emerge from us, and we're no longer, you know, wanting to hold these resentments for these things, and we don't feel like, you know, we've been done wrong or we haven't gotten what we deserve, because we didn't come here to get what we deserve. We came here to love. And when you embody such a high frequency of true love, then love already creates everything in your life. Love is your reality. You don't need it to be provided externally for you. You are completely interdependent. And yet there's still beauty in partnership, because certain things, as we all know, we can only experience and face in relationships. But as we're getting closer to embodying this new prototype, which are divine unions, sacred unions, we're going to feel that it's almost like a grid, this twin soul grid that has been kind of completing itself, culminating. There's a certain quota that needs to be fulfilled for this grid, quantum of light, to sustain itself. Once it will sustain itself, it's almost like the unions will start to happen naturally, like click, click, click. You know, you reach a certain level and then it's like a naturally supporting system. Like gardening, you know, you kind of invest that first seed, you do the first seeding, and you create a garden that is self-functional and it's self-restorative. And then it's like the seeds, all of a sudden they start to wash over with this beautiful harvest. And this is kind of like how this is. But the first stage of us is really awakening and embodying this Aphrodite, which is whoever you encounter and you feel drawn to them, connected to them on any level. You know, first there's this great divorce happening as well, which is making amends with all of the old, which is letting bygones be bygones, you know, really moving through these things. So welcome to the second part of the video, and in this video I wish to express this current unfolding through the highest aspect of my nature, and this is through the sacred spirit attunement. So as you've noticed recently, I was guided to not write or speak so much, which I do as well a lot, but also this essence of the highest angelic nature of the presence of grace that speaks to me through the songs of the seraph and these elven melodies that I actually just source through in my own way. And so I really wanted to do this for a while, to record for you with my crystalline bowl that has beautiful Shekinah butterflies on it. So these are platinum butterflies, and somebody just recently asked me what they're all about and how are they on. Are they stickers? Are they glued on? And actually they're real butterflies. They're a part of the crystalline bowl. And when I saw it the first time, I knew it was for me, because it's just the Shekinah speaks to me through the white butterfly essence and this platinum frequency, and this is this light. And I knew it belongs to me, and it was unique. It was just one of a kind. But the bowl is very huge, so I couldn't take it outside. I couldn't record with it, so I couldn't do these activations with my videos that I record outside. So today I was surprised because I received a belated birthday present in my mail, and some people obviously just know you and know what you need. It's a telepathic transmission. So what I received was this beautiful tiny baby crystalline bowl with a high-pitched frequency, which is a great addition to what I already have with the big one. And that one is more that I am, that robust presence frequency. It's almost like that divine masculine. Well, this one is more that upward moving divine feminine. So together they make this perfect harmony. And we are at the point of the eclipse. We're moving towards the eclipse, but before we do that, we have the equinox now, which is the balancing and harmonizing point. So it's beautiful that I have now two bowls, and with this one I can actually record because it's tiny enough to take it outside. But don't let its size fool you, because it's really strong in energy. And I don't know how much of that sound will come through the activation today, because I have a microphone, but it's very windy. So this is something that I've wanted to do for a while now, and I have a few recordings already on my page. You can find them under Spirit Attunements, where I already share my celestial music towards the end of these spirit activations. It's what Holy Spirit presents through me. But I really wanted to also do video recordings. So today, as a part of this transmission for the equinox, I wanted to bring through this sacred energy of feeling home. Because with this divorce on greater levels and so many things happening now for us, events quickening, people coming into your life, moving out of your lives, you don't know what to choose. Choices are being presented to you. Sometimes it's like one thing after another, you feel overwhelmed, and you know, overwhelming feeling is also a sense of fear. And with all of this, it's like we're leaving behind this multi-fraction parts of us and just walking into that unified self. And the white light of unity and the presence of the seraphim and Shekinah, this is what I serve. This is how my essence pours through, and what I've chosen for this journey on this path. And I really felt called to do this harmonization, this synthesized energy essence that we can step into as a brotherhood of white light. Because there's just so many of you now that are ascending to this higher vibrational space, while also you know many others who are not, and you feel like they have more challenging job to do as they're moving upwards as well, and you're helping them just by holding the space. So if you feel guided and called in any way at this time, because it is an important juncture time to hold the space for brothers and sisters of light who you feel still have a more challenging aspect to climb through, to embody, and you feel they don't yet have their full merge with the divine masculine and feminine presence, you can help them by just holding this space. This doesn't mean we have to go out and chase things. You know, we don't chase our dreams, we invite them in, and we just let them occur naturally. So this process that's happening now, it's very organic. And this activation of this sacred Venusian, Aphrodite love, that's love for the sake of love itself, is awakening within those of us who really are more than ever so before called to divine service. And also for the presence of the planet, which is moving through this now, and it can support these unions, which actually what's taking place is they are multidimensional, they're multivibrational. So these unions are taking place across time and space. So you might have higher aspects of you that you feel they're already merged, they're already in their twin soul, completely complete reunion, and you feel these parts of you now on this planet that are not. And that's why we're doing this on this planet, this integration through cosmic love. So if you feel that there's parts of you that are still kind of fragmented or not completely whole, just invite them in. And as we're going to be doing this activation and attunement, I would ask you to just be present with that you are a unified being, that you can return back to the fifth dimensional awareness and beyond. You know, it's like this space of living. It's not just you have an awareness, but it's also a living space we're creating for ourselves and those following, and the planet, of course. But the planet, you know, is just doing its own thing. It's us who are making sure that we're following along those lines. So if you feel in any way called to assist, whatever way or form, just by holding the space for other brothers and sisters, because these are very intense times, and across the world even events are happening that for some people feel very challenging. For those of us who are already in this higher vibrational space, we feel it's not that way. And as much as we don't want to be pulled in the dramas of that which is happening, because every drama means that it's being played out by those who have chosen it. On a higher level, everything is choice. So when you see it as, oh my gosh, why is this happening? You need to know that it's happening because somebody has chosen to integrate through that expression of the counterbalanced extreme polarity, for example, which caused duality on this plane of existence to even exist. So for those of you who maybe feel like you've never fallen, you've always been the initiate and the pioneer for this higher vibrational space, then you've always been devoted to service. You know how it feels to hold this space. You don't feel like you need to, you know, you jump there, you are here, but you don't need to make yourself fall to that degree of vibration so you could actually help, because nobody helps that way. So as this reunion is taking place across time and space, and you feel like, it almost feels like somebody, you know, pouring the zipper through a line of clothing, you know, the gap gets narrower and narrower. So those parts at the top, they're already zipped, they're already perfectly fit together. But here on our planet, it still feels like this gap. It feels like this loosening needs to occur. So this is what's taking place, and this sometimes is a challenging process for people. They have many pains, you know, they have emotional withdrawal or emotional craziness or whatever it's happening. It's because of that reason. But that awakening of the Aphrodite is that love for the sake of love. And when we don't just feel love for one person and we fixate it all on them and we project, oh, that person is the object of my desire, but we serve through the unification of the white brotherhood, which we're all a part of in a way. We're just forgotten. So as we're going to do this attunement, we remember this and we hold the space and we see all of our family, you know, stepping through this. This doesn't mean that our ascension is not personal, because it is. It's happening through our own twin soul reunion. But at the same time, it's also happening for others. So it is collective in a way too. But it doesn't mean we need to be in a group to be a part of it. But we hold the space with our unique personal ascension for that which takes place on a greater mass level, if you know what I mean. So if you look at yourself from multidimensional awareness, it's different parts of you. You feel, wow, in this aspect I already feel so unified, and sometimes you feel it on the human level as if you know it, but you're not there physically yet. It means that it's the physical aspect that we're enlightening, and it's those relationships we're bringing into unions that are not yet in union. So this means that what is already, you know, here as above will come the below as well. You know, the perfection is as above, so below, from the left to the right, and the perfect spirit crosses form. This is our divine destiny. But we need to know what we're choosing. And for a lot of people, it's still difficult to choose. So as we know and learn to do it, they're going to choose wisely as well. And in a way, when they're ready, when they're divinely called. So it's important to hold this space, to not lose our objective, our highest vision, because a lot of us are visionaries and we need to hold this space. And it's also important that we just stay devoted to love and always ask, what would love do here? And know that sometimes if things are not in the physical in a certain way, but you're already here in this higher aspect, so we wish to be here, we know this. We know how it feels in the higher ethereal planes, especially those for master souls. But then as you come here, not everything is always like this. For you it might feel, but for others, as you're experiencing on the outside, it's not. That is why you came here to assist. So this means that you also need to be well and at peace with what is right here now. Not just what you know somewhere there in the higher planes, but also what is right here now, and unify that as well, because you wouldn't be here otherwise if your unification light would not be needed that way. So as we do this activation, I would like to first do 3 sacred breaths with all of you. Then we will create this beautiful white circle of light around us now, right here now, the light of unity. The circle stands for spirit. And we're going to do these sacred breaths, and then we're going to do the attunement. So before recording this, I already received the melody, and it's about home. It's about calling us home to our true divine nature and unification. So if you want to sing along, the words are home. It's very simple. So 3 breaths. We invite the light of the sacred holy Shekinah, the life force of all, the carrier of the Holy Spirit life, within us and all life in creation. As we move through the sacred vibrational, angelic, celestial attunement, let us remember that all of our brotherhood is always at peace, it's always unified, and it always exists within all that is. And that all is a web, it's intertwined and interconnected. And we know who we are, and we know that we're always truly home. brothers and sisters home to the white light, to the unity consciousness and the white brotherhood, holding the space for all to move upwards and to embrace the true divine selves also downwards, where the as above and so below, the left and the right, the masculine and the feminine, opposite, counterbalances, polarized within a unified field of oneness. Come back home where the heart is, for we always are home. Let me greet you in this space of grace, remind you that I won't be here until after the eclipse, so taking some time to really process and integrate the energies. I wish you a beautiful equinox gateway point and the equilibrium and balancing point as well as the eclipse. It's very strong and potent. Wherever you are, really hold the space, be within grace. And you can also see my webpage, Serapina Light, for many products that can help you along this journey. There's many beautiful light activations, spirit attunements, and courses. But I really advise you to just stay within at this powerful time as we move into our own true unified self-nature. And I'll talk to you soon. As always, so much love, wisdom, and power.